Hello everyone, BLB here, and welcome to episode 3 of Endercraft. So I got a little bit of a plan today, but first things first, I want to catch you up on some progress here. Um, I've already seen all that's out here. I kept hearing a husk. Well, oh, there he is. I'll worry about him later, but, um, well, I didn't really change much out in this area, but you might notice an extra building here. Snappy put up a chicken cooker for the community. So we now got the option of beef or chicken. We're also getting our feathers and leather. So food is definitely not an issue on the server. Well, not to mention we all have gardens by this point. Um, one other thing, Shadow Bandit put up a race. You can see these like gateways the whole way through, and hopefully I can meet up with him at some point. And I actually want to run this thing. It's just a foot race. Uh, but yeah, I'd like to see what kind of time I could get, and I think a lot of the other guys have already done it. Um, Another thing I've been up to, if we take a look at the top of the hill, it's gone. uh, uh, David the Explorer and I had met up, and we discussed building a base together. A lot of the other Undercrafters are building bases together. This is to save space, as we don't have a lot of it. And well, David and I had already been living in the same hill unintentionally. So we figured, why not? We could pull our resources and we could build something on top of this hill. We needed a larger area, so I did take it down a few chunks, and we're probably still going to have to terraform the mountain a little bit. The problem with that is David can't really help me with that right now, and that is due to this week's event. I said in the first episode we would have regular events here on the server, and I missed the first one. This is like the second one, but basically what this is we're in a hardcore right now, in a matter of speaking. If we die this week, we don't get to come back. At least not this week. We have to wait until the end of the week. We can come back on the server, but we're basically in spectator mode, and that's David's situation. He already died. So basically, he can help out as much as, like, I don't know, a ghost. He's just an invisible person that flies around. I'm gonna go in and grab all this golden armor. Thank you. Uh, but yeah, you can show up. You're invisible and you can't really interact with anything, and you have to stay like that all week long if you die this week. So I'm going to try very hard not to die this week. But I've only gotten one death since the start of the season, so it shouldn't be too difficult. I just got to watch out for creepers. um, but that isn't the only thing I've been up to either. There's one other project that I have been involved in. So I mentioned last episode that Snappy and I had plans to build a slime farm, and I started clearing an area for that, and I used chunk base to find what I believe is the double slime chunk, side by side. And while I dug all this out, I still haven't seen a single slime spawn in it. But then again, I know there's slime chunks right below my base, and I haven't seen any slime spawning down there. And here's what I'm thinking about that. Um, See, we got a 12 chunk simulation distance on this world, and so that means these mobs aren't going to despawn as easily as they would in like something with like a 4 chunk simulation distance. So what I believe is happening is we're maxing out the mob cap up on the surface, and that's not allowing us to get any mob spawns down in the caves. Um, and that's just a theory. I don't really know for sure. This looks like a good way out, but I mean it's a pretty sound theory because there is always hostile mobs on this surface, always. and they're not gonna despawn just because I walk away from the area. That's not true in this world. So I think one of the my projects that I'm gonna have to take on, that I'd kind of like to take on during this season, it's gonna be one of the long-term projects, but that is going to be kind of lighting up and generally spawn proofing this entire world. I would kind of like to do it. Um, Now, I don't want to do just torch spam everywhere. I mean, everybody's got to look at this, right? So I'm thinking maybe designing some sort of a light post or fixture where we can kind of illuminate an area with something that looks decent. Or I don't know, there's other methods to go about it too. We could hide things under the ground and use carpet, uh, like to cover up like torches. But at any rate, I I think in order to make any mob farm work in this world, we're gonna have to, well, basically spawn proof the entire surface. And right now, that's not what's happening. Like, I guarantee. Well, I'm surprised I haven't seen a hostile mob yet. Drowns are a big thing. Um, Apparently, I'm now a member of the pickle cult. If any of you watched season 3, apparently that was a thing then. Yeah, and AG got me off camera. But I think I'm okay with being a member of the pickle cult because I'd like to start using some pickles to light up all of these bodies of water. I feel like that's going to reduce the number of drowns spawning in. And then, like, focus on some way to light up the surface world without making it look absolutely hideous. You can see what I mean. I come over the corner. I think this is going to be the iron farm here. But they're just over here having a party. And this corner's been like this the whole time. Another thing is mob griefing is on at the moment, not something that's normal on this server. So if this creeper blows up, he's gonna make a big hole that I'm gonna have to fix. Uh, okay, but yeah. See, hostile mobs just having a party over here in the corner of the map. They're not gonna go anywhere. They wouldn't die if I walked away from here or despawn. They'd still be here when I came back. Uh, so mob proofing going to be a long-term goal. Uh, in this world. Now, as far as more short-term plans, I mentioned chopping off the top of this hill, and that's so David and I could build a base. I mean, he kind of designed something, and it's gonna be a few weeks before it goes up, I believe. I mean, he can't do anything this week anyways. But my goal this week is going to be to gather the materials required for that build. And I do have some things, as I dug out a 2 chunk area and I plan on digging that out further. And, I've been gathering like everybody else. But one thing that's going to be necessary is a whole bunch of quartz. And so I'm going to do some nether exploration and hopefully not die, because this would be a bad week to die. Um, Leave my excess stuff here. Um, But I'm gonna go there, gather some quartz, and I believe not all the end portal frame blocks have been found yet. So I think Snappy said something about the rest of those remaining in the Nether. And well, I figured that'll give me an opportunity to, oh my, look at the mob party. It's a freaking mob party. Yeah, we gotta light all this up somehow. Or I got to. Uh, but But yeah, I can get to the Nether, search for quartz, and possibly locate some of these remaining end portal blocks. So it's been sort of an uneventful trip to the Nether. There has been some constructions made here, nice little safety bridge to get across the other side. I kind of went up in the corner here and dug out some quartz. And I do believe with what I already had back home, because I already did make one run here and back. To I think with all I've gathered, I should have enough to create the blocks that we need. I think we needed 8 bricks, so I think it's 4 blocks per brick. Sounds about right. I think we got enough. I think we do. I think I should have more than enough. Um, the other materials were really easy to find stuff in the overworld. So I don't know. Well, I'm using my iron pickaxe. I guess I'm gonna go back and craft some stone, a stone one, because I don't need to be using that up here. Is that? Let me go look at. I want to go look at that. Now, surely somebody placed this here, right? Okay, yeah, all right. Just wanted to make sure it wasn't like an end portal frame, because that's, I mean, that's all how it is. They're hidden in chests around the world. Um, yeah, I was hoping to find one or two. Oh, maybe people found them all already. I'm not sure. Uh, yeah. Either way, I want to go back and craft myself a stone pickaxe. I don't need to be using the iron one to be doing what I'm doing right now. Would you look at this guy? What does he think he's doing in there? uh, I'm wondering if I should try and fight him or just go away and hope he despawns. I don't know if he will despawn. Oh no. Well, that ended badly. And that's where I was going to get the wool from. Them sheep. Yeah, we needed wool for this project. I know there's other sheep on the server. Oh, what a jerk. Alright. Okay, so I've been on the resource gathering for the build, and, well, I do believe I got the quartz required, for the, we needed 8 quartz bricks, I believe, for the design David came up with. And, oh, I might need to just sleep through the night real quick. And, well, we also needed a few different types of wood. Acacia, which there's plenty of here that has already been planted by other members. I went and gathered a couple of spruce saplings. I mean, there's like a whole forest someone's growing over there. And also birch as is needed. So I've been kind of just, grinding that out, growing more, harvesting it up. Also, you probably noticed that I expanded the wheat farm. And then I put this little contraption over here that I don't want that creeper to blow up, so I'm going to run away from it. Jerks. Okay. All right. Mobs everywhere. See, this place needs to be spawn-proofed, the whole world. But anyway, yeah, just an automatic bone mealer, so excess crops, we can throw them in there. Turn them bad boys into some bone meal, right? I mean, it'll take so many, like, I mean, the ratio isn't great, but you end up with tons of excess crops. They're infinitely reproducible, so, yeah, the bone meal is going to come in handy for things like pickles and, well, whatever else we might want to bone meal. I mean, in a world like this where resources are limited, bone meal is extremely valuable. and that provides us with an unlimited source. You know, at some point, maybe when I can craft some more hoppers, I'll create like an automatic sugarcane farm. We can maybe even zero tick something, or you know, and speed that bone milling process up. But for now, I mean, just turning our excess scrap into bone meal, as you can see, works out pretty well. Oh, geez, the mobs, they're everywhere. See, this is what I'm talking about. The creepers, they just like come out of the woods and they blow up, and then I gotta fix holes in the desert, and I don't even have enough sand. I gotta just gonna trim off the top of the hill here to make it look a little nicer. That's still not enough, is it? Oh, almost. Ha, ha. There we go. But yeah, I'm starting to just kind of light up the area a little bit. I want to do something more decorative than just torch spamming everywhere. You know, even if it's something like this, where it's just kind of light posts, uh, and like maybe pathways everywhere. But I don't know. Definitely like the mobs are crazy, crazy everywhere right now. So AG is online right now, and I gave him the bone meal. That I've collected from the bone miller being up for the little bit that it's been up, and all I've been doing is just kind of harvesting my wheat and putting all the seeds and wheat inside the bone miller, and I have like half a stack. Uh, but in the long run, this will provide us with pickles. He's got the pickle farm. Uh, there's kind of another project in the works with the pickles, so we're gonna wait until there's a nice stock supply. Uh, But I did tell him I kind of want to light up all the water on the map. So, yeah, kind of a beneficial partnership there. I also gave him, told him about the bone mealer being there. So, you know, like any excess crops he has, if he wants to turn them into bone meal, he could bring them over and do that to create more pickles. So my grind for resources is going pretty well. I mean, all except for the wool because I blew up my sheep. But I could sort that out later. You know, I've gotten lots of the wood types that we need, and I've gotten the quartz that we need, and I'm been focusing on this bone mealer. And first I thought, oh well, I can make a bigger sugarcane farm up here, which I did. And, and I mean, it'll produce a little bit faster than just growing it on the sides. And then you can see I'm still growing it on the sides here, but um, of course, we can pop that right into the bone mealer and turn that into bone meal. But then, you know, I got an itching to do a little bit of redstone. And so I crammed a few ugly farms underneath the cow farm here. Uh, Automatic sugarcane farm. I'm going to close this in so it won't be a lot of loss, but there's still going to be some loss. But it doesn't really matter because, I mean, it's going to be active as long as somebody's on the server. Pretty much is you anywhere on the map. They're going to be loading these farms, and then this is watermelon. We got lots of melon on the server already, um, but from what I understand, this works in 1.16 now. You can just view the stem, and I might actually bone meal those to speed up the process to make sure it does indeed work. But yeah, mainly I just built this one because this works now, or at least I believe it does. I heard it does, so I'm trying it out. Um, but yeah, at any rate, like neither of these things are going to be lossless. There's going to be stuff that doesn't get harvested, but it's going to be producing all the time. Both of them, all the time, they're going to be making new stuff and filling up chests. So I'm closing this in, and yeah, some might even pop up on here. I'll close that in as much as I can. But yeah, I'm not worried about the loss, really, because, well, if it's always going to be active, these things are going to be filling up anyways. So yeah, that's set up and ready to go. Could provide a constant source of bone meal for us, which is fantastic. I don't know what else to get into today. That might just wrap it up. Now, before I do finish off this episode, I gave it just a little bit of time so I could come in here and check out these farms. And if we have a look, they seem to be working. Which, yeah, I mean, there wasn't really any doubt that they would. Uh, I'm sure that they are getting lost, like I said they would. But like I said, it's not really a big deal if they're continuously producing anyways. And the only real need I have for these things to be continuously producing is to feed the bone meal, the bone mealer here. So, I mean, it's not going to do anything at a spectacular rate, but it is a constant supply. And yes, my friends, I think that is going to be it for this episode. I mean, we got quite a bit done today. I'd kind of like to get this episode out within the next 24 hours, so I'm a little bit behind on schedule already. Um, but you know, as always, if you enjoyed this video, please remember to hit that like button, and if you're interested in seeing more from me, consider subscribing as well. I would like to thank each and every one of you for watching and wish you all a wonderful day.